I will die on that hill.
I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
You have failed this.
Love this shit.
The sickest night ever.
Is this? What are we doing?
No. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunnar, also known as Chico Noise, three-time podcast host. Alongside me, as always, my good friend Colton Keel, or as I like to call him, Juan Keel 43. Colton, listeners,
What up?
first things first. This episode is going to be called Call Guys of the Galaxy Volume 2.
How it'll forever be the episode of the lost episode.
Yes, this is the lost episode because
This is just a tribute, okay?
yeah, and we don't know what
Should have been
happened. This is not the greatest episode in the world.
This is a tribute to the greatest episode in the world.
I will admit that. So, if you follow us on social media, if you've been following us on social media, you saw a post this last Monday that my computer died, and it died. It
R.I.P.
just is gone. I had an iMac I've had for a couple of years, and I bought it refurbished. Loved the computer. It ran great. It was amazing. While I was finishing up the edit, I didn't back it up, and it was running slow, so I restarted the computer, and it never restarted. So I want to thank the lab for trying. I tried for hours upon hours to get the files off the hard drive, and no luck. The lab had no luck. But they do really good work at the lab. So if you're in the area around Warsaw and you need to get something repaired, I do highly recommend the lab. Lyle's a really great guy. They do really good work. They're always busy. So phone cracked, something broke, you need it fixed. The lab's the way to go. Unfortunately, they weren't able to help me in my situation, but I ordered a new computer. It's not here yet. So I'm using my wife's laptop, her MacBook Air, to do this episode. Luckily, it's all kind of just compatible. It all works. So, but yes,
Thank you, Sarah.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. Our episode is officially gone. So this is a re-record of our Guardians talk. So if it doesn't seem as natural as normal, that's why, because we're thinking about what we said, but we already talked in our pre-production meeting that we weren't going to do that. So we're going to try not to.
We're gonna
make it
try
as
not
natural
to.
as possible. So yeah, hopefully the new computer gets here soon, and we're good to go. So I apologize we didn't have an episode last week. 61 weeks of us not missing a single week, and
It's just not like us. It's okay
It's
though.
not.
It's okay though. We're not like the other ones, okay? We are not like the other ones.
that's true. We record week to week. We don't record multiple episodes at one time. We like
No, we're
to
not weak.
stay
We're not
current.
weak. Yes, we are.
We are not weak. We are week to week. Week. Whoa! But yeah, so welcome back to the Call Guys, and I'm glad you came back. If you're listening, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email. We have a couple that we're going to read off tonight that we had that missed a week because of the episode loss, but we'll get back to those. And yeah, let us know what you're up to. Let us know what you've been watching. Let us know a little bit of everything, because I feel like I missed a week with everybody. So, Colton, how are you? How's it going?
It's good, man. Gearing up for the hibachi night. I'm excited for that. I think I got some tricks planned out. Hopefully they go well. I don't expect them to, so
Flipping eggs
should be good.
into my hat. Should I wear a hat or
oh,
flip it upside
yes.
down so you can flip
Oh,
it into my hat?
yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out if I want to do shrimp or not.
Yes.
Someone's gonna have to bring them, so hopefully someone brings them.
I'm on it.
I mean, because I'm actually thinking about getting some. So
I'll pick up some shrimp. Sarah and I have to stop at the old Costco before we head over that way, so I can pick up some stuff if you need it.
baby. Yeah, man, we works good. I feel, you know what? I don't know about you guys out there who listen to the Call Guys podcast. and it probably goes to the women's side of too, women's side of things as well. But do you ever feel so accomplished, like you feel like you've actually like really, really done something? You ever done anything like that?
Not this week.
Well, yeah, you've had a rough week. I fixed my microwave. I tore that thing apart and put it back together.
Nice.
I have never felt more accomplished in my entire life.
I'm proud of you. Proud of you.
Because I told my wife, I said, hey, because the part was like a little $5, it was like a door switch. It was like $5. And I got a new fuse. It was like $5 too. So I was like, if it's none of these two things, it's a new microwave. Plain and simple. I'm not trying to troubleshoot any more than what I've done. That 3-minute YouTube video I watched, if I had to do anything more than that, it's not worth it. Not worth it. So no. So yeah, I fixed that. Just, doing the dad thing right now. Weather's nice, so William wants to be out and about.
That's always good.
Oh yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, other than your Mac, just giving you the old double birds on the way out. How was your week?
It actually wasn't too bad. Work has been great. Been really busy with some projects, so I got a bunch of that stuff done. Got the big project done and actually completely finished, so that's good. I mean, other than that, yeah, the whole thing with the Mac, and it just seemed like everything after that wouldn't go right. There was nothing that, like, it was like a domino effect of just thing after thing after thing. So nope, Sarah's good, I'm good, and it's just, yeah, it's another week, and this is what life is. This is what the emperor has always told me, is that no matter what happens, you'll make it through it, and you'll be better off afterwards. I mean, everything's a learning experience.
Dude, man, I think I told you about this. I mean, you woke up, you got to see the wife, you got to see Penny. I mean,
oh yeah,
perspective is everything, boss. Perspective is everything, and that's so easy to say when everything's going well. But
I have positivity tattooed on my arm for a reason. It's like it's a life. Not, I wouldn't say a motto, but I mean, it's one of those things you just live by being positive. And I get frustrated, but you got to see the brighter side. And the week was rough, but it's leading into Memorial Day. This episode comes out on Memorial Day, so it's a long weekend.
Expect to hear this out on some lake boats.
That's right. Yeah, that's right, Sydney Lucas. If you're out on Skeeter, you better be listening to the call, guys.
Oh my!
No, for real. Everything's okay. That's all that matters. So,
in the grand scheme of things, brother, worst case scenario is that I love you.
Thanks, man. Love you too, brother. Love you too, brother.
Brother.
No, but yeah, I'm just glad to be here. I feel like this is a part of my week.
We're doing it. We are doing it.
I feel like I lost somehow, but we do have an exciting episode coming up next week too. We got a new guest coming on.
Yes, we do.
He was very excited to come on and talk about what we talk about in that episode, which is already actually recorded. With the failure, it's back a week, but yeah, well, I'm excited to listen back to it once it's done and posted, because it was a really fun episode to be a part of overall, and I think listeners will enjoy it too. So
I think it's because you didn't lead.
That's true. You led it. That's right. You did.
I felt like that's why you enjoyed it so much. You just like, because I remember we started it. I was like, dude, man, what are you thinking? Like, what's the roadmap? Kind of like, and you're like, dude, I ain't got nothing. I was like, all right, man, I'll do it. So
yep. No, you told the day like it was a printed on paper almost.
Oh my god!
Like you just went through it, and it was good. It was it's a good set of memories to talk about. So
I'm pretty sure that when Ice Cube wrote "Today was a good day," I'm pretty sure that's what he was talking about, was that day. So
that's right.
Excited for everyone to hear about our day. So
oh yeah, it's gonna be so good. Speaking of everyone, all of our listeners out there, we have some emails we want to cover that go over. Couple of people that sorry you emailed on May 15th, but we're getting to you now.
Yes.
It's only
Yes,
a couple
we are.
weeks, but all right. Go ahead there, Colton, with the
All right. So this one comes from longtime listener, somewhat time emailer, terrible speller, um, retired podcaster, um, from them Texas boys. So this one is titled Time to Take How I Met Your Mother Out to Pastor. I believe the word was pastor, but that's okay, Logan. We love you. We love you, buddy. You keep emailing us at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. We really appreciate it. So here we go. Stay with me, folks. I might struggle a little bit, but I think he makes some points here that I really appreciate. So here we go. What's up, call boys? I'm here to earn myself some hate mail, I guess. People need to stop spreading the false propaganda that How I Met Your Mother is a good show. You just keep doing the Lord's work, brother. The main character, Ted, is almost 100% unlikable, but he is not the main problem. The problem that everyone seems to, the part that everyone seems to like the most is Barney. The sole reason this show would never be remade to this day. A character that is 112% a full-blown sexual predator, so much so that to even have his character show up briefly on the new How I Met Your Mother show, they legitimately put him in a shock collar that tases him anytime he starts to be sexual to explain it away. Rough. To top even that episode, like The Naked Man, straight up support an act that is absolutely sexual assault and would catch you a spot on the sexual offender list. Colton, I know you don't watch much of the show. I know you don't watch much, but the whole premise of The Naked Man was that Robin was on this awful date with a dude she hated, but she allowed him to come upstairs, and when she left the room and came back, he's completely naked with the goal of the girl he clearly knows is nodding to him will have sex with him out of pity to avoid the awkwardness of addressing what's going on. So basically pressuring women into sex they don't want, and you think the episode would be the character addressing how gross this is. Nah, all the characters join in and all attempt the naked man themselves and ends with them showing the first offender as a hero. People need to start speaking the truth that the only good character on that show is Marshall. As always, I love the call boys. Retired podcaster, Logan. Logan, brother, that is a great email. I really appreciate it. And you know what? You know what the best thing about it is that there's a PS. P.S. How I Met Your Mother's End was probably one of the worst endings in sitcom history ever of all times. Made the whole show pointless. All right, I'm done. Dude, man, you brought some fire there. I wish that would have been a take you could have brought on the show.
Yeah.
I think it would have been even better than what that email was. So I really appreciate you taking your time out of the day to not write one, but two, to make sure that the point was driven home. That
drove it in there.
Maybe How I Met Your Mother just isn't that good of a show.
Seems like he knows a whole lot about it, though.
I know he does.
How many times you watched it there, Logan?
Let us know at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, do it. Thanks for the email.
Do it now.
We'll talk to you soon. We'll have you on for an episode.
Let's go.
We also have an email from Arian. She says, "Hi, guys. Yeah, enjoy not fighting while you can. Kids at a whole new level. And Colton, be ready. Adding a second kid as a whole nother level.
That's what I've been told.
You better be ready." She says, "Wow, I'm sorely disappointed that more and more people are saying they don't love Anchorman. We are an island, Colton.
We are going to die on that island.
Hopefully there's a hill on it."
Oh, there'll be a hill.
You gotta make your own hill.
I'll make a hill.
Then this is contrary to Logan's beliefs. I think Ted Mosby is overall a good guy, but he uses his passion to justify his choices. He was so into finding his one person that he let everyone potentially be it. P.S. I love Lamp.
I love Lamp too.
Yes. Thank you, Mary. Thanks for the email. Enjoy hearing from you. Hopefully you're not too upset that we missed an episode last week. I'm glad we're back and glad we got to get your email in.
Yes.
All right. You ready to read the book?
Holy my goodness. We should have just made time and had this guy on for the episode. It'd be easier.
I know.
It'd be easier.
Nicholas.
So with that being said, yes, this is our another Star Wars expert, Nicholas Nordman. This is just titled Mando Season 3.
Ooh.
Good day, gentlemen. Long-time friend, short-time listener, first-time emailer here. I listened to The Mandalorian Season 3 with Chris and Tony recently, and I want you to know there were several moments when I was shouting my responses in the car.
Welcome to the club.
Addressing Chris directly. I wish I could have been on the pod as well, because like Kenobi, I was the only one to like the show. Also, like Kenobi, I think there were some plot holes in some parts that could use some work, but as a whole, I enjoyed it immensely. I do think the season is more impactful if you watch the Clone Wars and Rebels animated series. And as Colton mentioned, you need to watch Book of Boba in order to understand the transition from Mando Season 2 to Season 3. If you happen to watch all three of those series, I thought you were satisfying. I thought there were satisfying story arcs and endings to several Mandalorian-inspired lines. So, I mean, before we get too far, I dropped the ball on that episode, man, because I'm pretty sure I told Chris, I was like, yeah, I think Nick feels the same way about it as us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a time when Nick yelled at his radio.
Yeah, so Chris actually said that he thought Nick would have the complete opposite opinion.
Oh, and he did.
Yeah, which
he did.
It would have been a great opinion to have on.
It would have been a great man, Nick. Maybe you should make more time for us. I don't know. Figure it out, I guess.
That's all right. Still love you.
Love you, man. Here we go. He's got some points here. The two sects of Mandalorians that caused the divine within Mandalore and its further downfall had to join together as the new Mandalorians in order to take back their homeworld. Neat. Point 1. Point 2. The Darksaber, major cause of Mando turmoil in the past and in Mando Season 2 and 3, gets a satisfying removal, shows the new age of the Mandalorian that is coming. I wish Sabine Wren. That's not how you spell that. Would have made it an entrance, particularly to address why the saber was so heavy for Mando and not for Bo-Katan. Yes, I would love. Maybe Nick should let us know at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. The next point, Din Djarin. See, I got that one. Din Djarin and Grogu's story seem pretty good to me. The ritualistic culture of the Mandalorian is a key aspect of the new tribe that Din is a part of. It seemed appropriate for Din to take the next step in adopting Grogu when he couldn't become Mandalorian yet. Cue gunslinging, chilling on the porch, watching the sunset. Bringing the
Ugnaughts.
The Ugnaughts back and showing Mando has learned from his early adventures was a cool callback. There were some downfalls in my opinion. The whole Season 3 was a downfall in my opinion, Nick. Here we go. Gideon had such a small role even though he was a major villain. I think they should have introduced the Beskar stormtroopers, particularly the Black Trooper, in a few episodes to build the evil presence. They didn't even show it's Gideon. The pirates could have been a better story arc, pretty easily defeated in my opinion, and I'm not a big fan of introducing a villain just to defeat them in the same episode. It makes the season feel chunky rather than cohesive.
That's good.
I don't argue that one. That's a good point. I also want to address Kanan
Jarrus.
Yeah, I'll say it the way it needs to be pronounced, okay? Okay? Kanan Jarrus here from Rebels. Spoiler alert. It took every bit of his training throughout the entire series of Rebels and even thought he had special training from a force creature, cool wolf lineage, and heightened senses from his blindness. It still took all of his power to stop an explosion, which inevitably consumed and killed him. Cue Grogu staring down Khan's force ghost as he casually tosses up a force bubble around himself, Bo, and Mando. That's it. That's all I've got. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, Jake Everett. You're gonna have to explain that last part. I don't get it. I find that odd. Yeah. So, Nick, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the first email, brother. Lots of fun. Just got to get you on for the episode, man. I think it'd be so much better. So
Yes, I completely agree.
Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to write this email. So just thank you so much for that. Thank you everybody for writing emails. Just keep sending them in. We'll keep shouting you out, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like it. Those are some good emails we had.
Oh yeah.
And
We have a good base. We have a good base, boss. I don't know.
I know.
I don't know what
I
more
enjoy.
you want.
I enjoy all of our fans that send out emails to us. I think that it's a little bit of culture that helps us here, that makes us feel like we're doing something for people. So keep sending them. Let us know. Cam, haven't heard from you in a while. Where you at,
Hey
Brody?
man, I bet he's holding back. He's been a while, but he likes to stack them up. He says he likes to listen at work.
Yes,
So
I'm perfectly fine with that.
we got to get him on an episode though.
We do.
That's what we
I
gotta
would.
figure
I would
out.
love that. That'd be so good. It'd be so good. All right, Colton. Let's get
What
into
up?
it. Let's get into it.
Into the question of the pod?
Do you have a question of the pod?
I do. I think I had the question of the pod last time we did this.
Okay.
Didn't
Okay.
I talk about a certain sleepwear?
You did. Yeah. Are you gonna change it? You're gonna do the same one?
Well, no, I figured we might as well do it because nobody else heard it.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Question of the pod. It's pretty simple.
Yes.
Take out the perfect ideal sleeping conditions, okay?
Mhm.
Are you a shorts person when you go to sleep, or are you a like sweatpants person when you go to sleep? Now, it's ideal conditions to sleep in sweatpants and it's ideal conditions to sleep in shorts. Which one do you enjoy more?
Shorts.
Or do you just have like a one go through no matter what?
Shorts. One all the time. I only sleep in shorts. No shirt, no socks, just shorts. Basketball shorts. I sleep hot, so I sweat a lot. If it's too hot in the house, I'm got no blankets. I'm just in shorts. So I like to go shorts and the air's on during the summer, and yeah, I like to stay cool during the winter. No blanket.
Opposite. I'm a sweatpants man.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know what it is. I just like them. I like the softness. I think it's because I got some fleece lined sweats that I like to wear during the winter.
Comfy.
Comfort. I just feel like I don't get that with shorts.
Comfort is key to sleep, though. Like, if you feel comfortable, that's what's most important.
So true. Look good, feel good, play good.
Yep. If you want to sleep naked because it makes you feel good, sleep naked.
That's
If you
right.
want to sleep in just socks because your feet get cold, but the rest of your body's hot, sleep in just socks. It's okay.
Let us know at the
No
Call Guys
judgment.
Podcast, gmail.com. What's your preference?
Now, Sarah, she sleeps in long pants, long sleeves, socks, fuzzy socks, like all year long. All year long.
Yeah, I know someone like that.
It's like, what if the house was like 80 degrees? She'd still be sleeping in that. So I don't understand how she does it, but
I don't know how Brie does it either.
I guess it works. We're just heaters.
Yeah, I get called a burning inferno a lot.
The burning inferno, vanilla thunder.
Vanilla thunder.
All right.
So yeah, man.
I like it. That's a good one. Send us your answers, please.
We want to
Let
know
us
how
you
everybody
sleep.
sleeps. We want to know how everybody sleeps.
Yes. We're not going to watch through your window to figure out. We want you to email us and tell us.
Yes, because if you don't, we will make trips and we will find out.
The call guys go to everybody's house.
The call guys go dark mode.
Call guys road trip.
Channel
That's
16 News. Channel 16 News. 2 local podcasters arrested for baby Tom.
On live.
How did they get caught? They said it on their podcast.
No, they were live.
Just so we have microphones like pounding on windows.
Yeah.
What are you wearing?
What? Okay, don't take that blanket off. I know you're naked.
Oh my.
Too good.
Ridiculous.
All right, are you ready to cue that spoiler warning?
This is a spoiler warning. If you have not watched the show or film that is being discussed, go check it out and come back to listen to this installment of the Call Guys Podcast.
All right, so a couple weeks ago, Colton and I both saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yes, sir.
We did not see it together. That was something
No,
that
sir.
we've been doing for the last 2 years, pretty much seeing every movie we can together. And this is one of the first ones we actually have not watched together.
Dude, I totally miss you.
But I felt like that's okay because I think our opinions on this movie will show why it's okay that we didn't go see this together. And we don't usually ride together when we go to the theaters because if we did, I'm pretty sure we would just talk for an hour in the car before before I left. So it's always good that we drive separate. So like I could just like go the opposite direction because we will just talk about everything. But yeah, this
Yep.
movie, obviously directed by James Gunn, all the returning cast members that we love, and man, I absolutely enjoyed this film front to back. There's nothing else I would even really want to say about it. I just loved it. You know, it was fun, emotional, action packed, had a great story, had a great villain, and it wrapped up some good stories. So, Colton,
What up, man?
what were your initial thoughts leaving the theater after watching this film?
After watching this film, the first thing I thought of is that this is probably the best trilogy in the MCU.
Yes.
That was the first thing I thought. This movie, I felt, did really, really a really good job of putting a bow tie on the characters. Now, there's going to be some things I don't like about how they did it, but I went into this movie with low expectations. You know, glass shattered on the ground. And one of the first movies that I didn't really watch a whole lot of trailers besides maybe like the opening trailer. And you knew it was going to be emotional. You knew it was going to be, you assumed there was going to be death.
Yeah.
So you were just, prepared for that. And I left the theater and I thought, that is not the plot of the movie I thought we were going for. But I'm glad we got it. One of the few times I'm actually glad that Marvel finally, went back on a character's story and actually told how or why they were that way, and that is Rocket. I still think, Black Widow, that should have been the story. Budapest, her and Clint. But this story, this plot of saving Rocket and his upbringing and everything that's led Rocket to where he is today and how he is, I just thought it was a good way to put a bow tie on this series. I really, really appreciated it. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I ended up liking this movie more than I ever thought I would.
Yeah.
So what about you, man? What first
I
thoughts?
I completely agree. Like I said, it was the overall when I first left that movie, and I'm pretty sure I texted you that same night, and I talked to Chris on the Monday after, and I said, this is the best Marvel movie since Endgame. Like it had every element you wanted in a Marvel movie, and it didn't push the limits. It didn't go back and ruin the jokes. It didn't do jokes at a bad time. It had really good action sequences. Chris and I have talked countless times about the hallway scene where all the Guardians are fighting in the hallway and they're just taking everybody out. And then like the overall villain and what he's going through and giving all of that, portraying back to Rocket's backstory and how all that just works out. The opening scene with the baby raccoons, all the testing stuff, Rocket being pretty much on his deathbed and them trying to save him. Like it was just so intriguing, and you just wanted to like stare and watch and watch and watch and watch. But when I left, that was the first thing I thought was, this is the best Marvel movie I've watched since Endgame. And I mean, Marvel's put out some good TV shows. That's why I didn't say this is the best Marvel thing that's come out, because like WandaVision, obviously we loved. Um, this is like this is up there. This might even make my top 10. I've liked it that much. So, um, but yeah, that's literally the first thoughts I had coming out of there. I was like, man, finally something good, worth watching, something I will rewatch over and over again.
Yep, I was gonna say that exact same thing. Like when this comes to Disney Plus, I'll be like, yeah, I'll watch this
Oh yeah,
just to
for sure.
rewatch it,
For
and I'll
sure.
probably watch Guardians 1 and 2
And
before I watch the third.
that's the other thing too, is it's so nice because Guardians 1 is such a great introduction to all of these characters. Guardians 2 kind of takes a step back, and it's like they try to push the jokes, they try to push the comedy side of it, kind of the same way they do with Thor, right? It's like oh, this is all comedy. Yeah. And then the Christmas special was phenomenal. I love the Christmas special. I thought it was goofy, silly, fun. It had the same kind of elements. It was like a mixture of funny from Guardians 1 and 2, but then you had Guardians 3, which was just like a step below 1 in the funny factor, but better in the emotional and action side of things. So it was more of a, I don't even know what you call it. And it was an action film, but it was more emotional, enjoyable.
Yeah, I felt like they did a really really good job of having this movie be serious, but yet still add and sprinkle the humor that is the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And I think that's just because of how they wrote Drax this movie. I think they took 100 because I felt like in the second one it was like 100% Drax is doing the funny, 100% anything is Drax, and now I felt like they split that up and they gave it to different characters and were able to utilize that even without Rocket. And the thing that they did with Drax is that he wasn't the joke all the time, is that he actually shows his comic book side of how he is what he is. And yeah, he's a little bit of a Neanderthal, but he's smart, he's intelligent. And I think they finally show that, and you finally get that side of Drax. And I think that's what made it work this time, is that they took the quote unquote funniest character and made him lovable for being himself in that aspect.
There were a lot of moments with Drax, and you get the funny moments like the couch scene where they're on Earth 2, I'm gonna call it, whatever he called it, where he's like laying down on the couch and they're all like, "Don't lay down," and he keeps doing it. He's like, "Why do they make it elongated? Yeah, why do they make it this way?" He's just like laying down. It's obviously made to do this. It's made for multiple reasons. Like that's hilarious. Like that was a great like light comedy moment. And then you get the moments where he's saving the kids that are imprisoned on the ship, and he's going in there and he's, speaking their language, and they ask him like, "How do you know that?" And he's like, pretty much just says, "You never asked me certain things," right? So it's like,
yeah, it's like they pretty much just never assumed he could be that intelligent.
They just assumed he was dumb because he plays fun. That's what he likes to do. He likes to eat his Zarg nuts and stand there and be motionless. But no, I really enjoyed what they did with Drax in this one, and obviously it's Batista's last Marvel film, so I really enjoyed the goodbye to him at the end of the film. I think that was really the one moment that I almost like teared up, because it felt more real, because Batista's not coming back, so it was a little bit more emotional. But there were some real moments in this movie that, Sarah and Sid were there with me, and they were both bawling. All the animal abuse, all the animal testing they were doing, and it just seemed wrong, and I think Sarah and Sid really really felt that a little bit more, and I could see it, especially when you have the little baby raccoons and you have the little bunny rabbit that has spider legs and teeth and floor and Lila.
Oh, Lila.
So I don't know. I loved it. I enjoyed it. especially some of the things they did with some different characters. So,
oh yeah, yeah. No, I don't know. I think I know I'll get some feedback and some pushback on it because a lot of people will say, yeah, Captain America is the best trilogy, and man, I just don't see it. I see that it's good. I agree, it is a good trilogy, but I just feel like I don't know. I just something about this Guardians movie. I just love about it, and it just I don't know.
I
I just think it is. So
I could see the argument that Captain America is one of the best trilogies because, and I think you've said this before, is that Winter Soldier is just a great like spy action movie. It just feels like it's different than what's in. You don't get the whole superhero thing throughout the whole thing. It's not like everybody's a superhero. Everybody's got these crazy powers. You get more of that like heist or spy kind of film. And then you get Civil War, which is like I don't know. It's in both of our top tens. It's just a
yeah,
great movie. You introduce all these characters and you introduce pretty much everybody that's going to be a part of the rest of all the phases, and it's just fun. It's just enjoyable.
yeah. So, I mean, like I said, this movie just fantastic. I'm glad that James Gunn did this movie, and it's his last MCU movie, and I'm glad it went so well.
I'm just excited for you to start watching DC films once he moves over
Yeah,
there.
so here's my issue with that. My it's gonna be a couple movies to see how they go, but if they have a James Gunn, I think the reason why James Gunn's movie do so well in the MCU is because the way he shoots his movies are refreshing and enjoyable to watch compared to some of the other directors that come in and shoot a movie. If Gunn is going to do that with the DC and kind of have like, hey, this is kind of the footprint, and he gets directors that kind of follow his footprint in that aspect, I think that's gonna I think that's gonna wear down and wear thin on me quick. I mean, I am more likely to give DC a chance now that James Gunn is at the helm and he's going to try to make something of you know, their they're they're just
How many words do you have that you could say right now? That
I mean, they're all mumbled. They're all up here, and they all like right as soon as they get to my mouth, they get mumbled up and jumbled, and like it's a mess, plain
yeah,
and simple.
I
And
get it.
if he has a chance, I think he's the best person to give them a shot to, you know, straighten out this DC universe thing and get them back on the track of telling a story within a story.
Well, I did hear that they're gonna start out with his version of Superman. I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, we're gonna get a little bit of a reboot along with what he's
Oh,
doing.
go figure. I
But,
feel like we're going to get a lot of reboots.
oh yeah, and I guarantee it. But that's the other thing too is you're getting the same thing that Marvel, Marvel and DC are both doing the same thing, and that is we now have multiverses, we now have multiple Earths or whatever. So now all this stuff's actually connected, right? It's not all its own thing. This character can show up here. Michael Keaton's in the Flash. You got Grant Gustin and whatever the other kid's name is that showed up in the Flash TV show. You got like they all are in different places, but they all can come together and be in the same universe for an episode or a movie. So, I mean, it's kind of refreshing and nice to see that and to get the nostalgia and the memories. But at the same time, it's like it's kind of a cop out. It's kind of like that. We're gonna do this. We're gonna throw all these people in here just to get people to come see this movie or just to get people to watch. So
Yeah, I'm convinced Keaton will be the only good thing in that movie.
I'm not gonna deny that at all. I do not like that version of Flash at all. I think he's just not a good portrayal of that character. So I mean, but we're not talking DC. We're talking Guardians. So
That's right. We don't need it. We don't need it. We could take the trash out later.
yes, let's take the trash out. But before we take the trash out, let's talk about our favorite character. Who's your favorite character?
Oh man, I mean, that's tough. That's tough. Quill was fantastic. I really liked him in this role of, you know, I'm just gonna go with Quill. It was more I loved his character for the fact that he was dealing with so much stuff, you know, outside of Rocket, and then he deals with the guilt of Rocket, and then he deals with the loss of Rocket for a short amount of time. And then he finally realizes that maybe his family is what he should be focusing on now. And now that he has that opportunity to kind of do that, he's going to do that. Do I like exactly how they got to that point in the movie wise? No, I don't. But from a character standpoint, I think Quill was my favorite.
I mean, I could see that.
What about you?
I think I don't know that they wrapped up his story. Obviously, at the end they said that he will be back, which we all love Star-Lord. He's
The
a fun
legendary
character.
outlaw.
That's right. That's right. But I don't know. I don't know where they're going to go with him. I think there's a lot of things they can do. I think they're probably going to choose the wrong path, but that's just what they do. So, but we'll see. I'm going to go Rocket because, you know, watching him in the first two films and in Endgame, and he's just so witty and funny, and getting to see how he was created and how smart he actually is. I mean, you know, he can build things, you know, he can do all these things, but just seeing all of that kind of in a backstory and in just one big like ball of information was really fun. And he wasn't in a whole like lot of the main like timeline of the movie, but getting his backstory was just amazing. Obviously, he was on his deathbed for 80% of the film, besides the
Yeah, sounds
flashbacks.
about right.
But I think the flashbacks are really what made me like his character even more than what I already did like him. And Bradley Cooper does a great job voicing him. And I've always liked Rocket in all the films. I love watching him ride on Thor's back in Endgame and take out all the like. There's just so many good moments of Rocket. So, but this one I think was a great part, and he's now going to be leading the Guardians, so that's also really cool.
I agree.
Who's your least favorite character?
Gamora.
Gamora.
Oh, my lord. What a.
Why?
Yeah, why is the question? Why Gamora?
Who is Gamora?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I didn't like her character. I hated how they ended with her, and how, you know, this Gamora doesn't go on that journey that Gamora was going on before, because obviously this Gamora comes at the time when it's, you know, Thanos getting the Soul Stone or getting the Power Stone,
Yeah,
and using it to kill Thanos, and new Gamora comes in and it's like, what? The Infinity Stones are gone, Thanos is gone, and then she's like, I'm gonna go do my own thing with the Ravagers. Okay.
yeah,
And then I come back, and then it's just like, I don't see how that could go away. Like the transformation that Gamora makes in the first movie, from where she goes from, you know, killer on her own, doing it by herself type of thing, to the family person she becomes, and how reliant she becomes on the Guardians, and to just, you know, finding that family with the Ravagers, but not really like having that family. Like she doesn't act like she is with a family when she was with the
yeah,
Ravagers. Even when she comes back, because it just seems more like, oh, I'm just so glad to be back where I belong and I'm loved and blah 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 blah. I just thought it was terrible. It felt like she had no growth whatsoever. The other Gamora, it's just I was very disappointed. I think she delivered to me one of my favorite lines of the movie, as much as I disliked her, is when she's leaving to go back with the Ravagers, and, you know, her and Quill are doing the back thing, looking away, and she goes, I bet we had some fun, didn't we? Or something like that.
I bet we were fun. I think
I bet we were fun, yes. And that just knife through the heart, because that's how I knew. I was like, never coming back. Never going to be the Gamora that Star-Lord wants her to be. And that's okay. I just felt like her character now is, didn't grow at all. I just felt like the first two movies were
pointless.
Yeah, even if she would have had or implemented some sort of of that story and that stuff that she was looking for in that family, it just doesn't seem like she gets it from the Ravagers. That she would get it from being with the Guardians, and it just, I don't know. To me, it missed. I think they should have. I think she should have ended up with her sister, and they should have, went back to, the ways that they were before Thanos times and just surviving together. And that's the storyline I wish they would have chose for Gamora, that it wasn't a competition, and it was more now for the sisterly bond, and they were going to be doing that. But what do I know? Nope.
She is off with Sylvester Stallone.
Sly.
And they're good to go.
Yeah. Well, who was your least favorite character, brother?
So mine was a character that I wanted to love. It was a character that was introduced to us a long ago, and we finally got him, and that's Adam Warlock. I wanted to love this character, and I wanted him to be amazing. And then the more I thought about it, the more I realized, like, this is a really, like, powerful dude, and it makes sense what they did. They made it to where they brought him out of his little cocoon too soon. And he's not as strong. He's not as smart. He's not as,
He's a teenager.
Yeah, exactly. Not as mature.
Yep.
So he's not as powerful, obviously. And it makes sense for this. Obviously, he kind of kicks some ass throughout the beginning and then becomes a Guardian in the end. But I just thought, man, I love dumb humor. I love dumb characters. But he was just dumb. Like, I was like,
it was annoying. It was like junior high. It was like junior high annoying.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it reminded me of, because I like the fact that they did announce that they did bring him out early. He is not fully developed maturely, and they've set him up obviously as a future character for movies to come. But man, every time he talked, I was like, dude, just shut up.
I love the actor.
I think
great. He's great. I can't have his name. I have it right here, but
it's like
Will Poulter.
Yeah,
Will Poulter. I love him. I think he's a great actor. Obviously, he hasn't been in a whole lot of stuff, but when you see him, you know who he is.
Yeah.
So,
like, I feel like it's that role that, I don't want to say it's like on the realm of Joffrey from Game of Thrones, where you hate this character so much, but that's how good the actor did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just felt like he was just written to be annoying, and he nailed it. Like, that was great. I was hoping to get. I understand why they went the direction they went, but I was really hoping to get powerful, all being Adam Warlock, who can just,
pull a Captain Marvel and just demolish something,
tear through planets, and that is the farthest thing we got.
Yeah. So did you have anything else, like, big that you wanted to talk about in the movie that really stuck out to you?
Do you want to hit on do we want to talk about the villain? Do we want to bring him up? Do we like the villain, the High Evolutionary?
I did. I did.
What are your thoughts on him?
I liked the fact that they had a villain. I actually think Chris, I'm gonna try to quote Chris here today, said that this is a villain that's pretty much just pure evil. There's no emotional ties to him. You don't feel for the guy. He is just evil. He is taking the animals. He's doing his experiments on them. He's creating a new world and all this stuff. You don't get any backstory of, like, like him as a kid or like something bad that's happened to him. You get just a bad guy that is doing exactly what he wants to do. And he gets beat, which is the most important part. You get the bad guy through the whole movie, you don't feel anything for him, and then he gets beat and you're like, okay, I'm happy. But I really liked the actor that played him. I thought he did a really good job. I liked the character as a whole. I thought that he had some really good reasoning behind what he was doing, and he was almost like a Thanos 2 kind of deal, which was interesting. What about you?
I liked him. I thought it was a good, fresh take for a villain. For that, I think you kind of nailed it. You and Chris kind of nailed it there. I think, he is just a bad dude, and it's just, I think the reason what makes him such a good bad dude is that he doesn't know he's a bad dude, but he's a real bad dude. And I think deep down inside, he knows he's a bad guy. Exactly. So, so yeah, I think that's one thing that made his character better is that he's just like, I'm not a bad guy, but he's like, I think when it came at the end, he's like, yeah, I know I'm a terrible person.
Well, when your whole crew turns against you because they don't want to stick with you, that's when you know you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, that's true. I think, to shout out my wife and Nick, because we went and saw it, the three of us went and saw it together. They brought up a really good point about the high evolutionary. That dude doesn't really make anything. He just modifies everything. Because his new world, he said he got the idea from Earth, so he just pretty much took Earth and, we call it Earth 2.0 or something like that.
Duplicated it.
And he just duplicated Earth. I mean, he didn't create that. And then with Rocket, he just modified him to do, and then just to be a talking animal. And then it just turns out that Rocket, like something just clicked in his mind and it made him super, super smart. And I think that's what drove him insane to an extent, was how are you so smart? And I don't know how I made you that way. And it's like, dude, you didn't make him that way. It's like, you just modified him. Like, he doesn't create anything. He just modifies. And I think that's one of his biggest downfalls, is that he believes himself to be a creator when he is really just not a creator, because he wants to make the perfect world. And the world 2.0 is,
nowhere near perfect.
Borderline, you could say, you can name out like the 10 deadliest cities in America, and it probably look more like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he doesn't create. He thinks of himself as a creator, and he is not. And I think him never coming to that realization, I thought that was really, really good for him, because that was, that was his hill he was willing to die on.
Oh, he was dying on that hill, and he did die on that hill. Spoiler alert, but he dies on that hill.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I had a couple little points. And you mentioned Star-Lord at the beginning and how just depressed he is. I think that was a really good way to get you kind of connected with him right off the start of the film. He's drunk on nowhere. He's sitting at the bar and he's drinking, and they get attacked, and obviously Rocket gets hurt. And then he's like, it's my fault because I wasn't aware of what was happening. I was too busy sulking over Gamora, and I think that seeing him, and I think you did actually say exactly what I'm about to say, but seeing his development through was really nice. But realizing how depressed he actually is helped that a lot right off the start.
I'd like to also add, and you brought it up earlier too, for if anybody who hasn't seen the holiday special, okay,
Yes.
You need to watch that before you go see this movie. If for some reason you're listening to this episode to see if you would want to go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3, please, if you do decide to go see that movie, please watch the holiday special, because Gunn even said it before he even released this thing, is that you need to watch this because there's going to be some things that happen in the movie that are going to correlate to this episode. And they do. And it gets you, it's the beginning of the movie. It's literally like the beginning of the movie, and then why does Mantis and Quill refer to them as self as like brother and sister, and then it talks about the end credit scene with Quill back on with his grandpa, and it's the newspaper about Kevin Bacon tells all about being abducted type thing.
Yeah,
like
so good.
But outside of that, I mean,
and nowhere is the big one too.
Exactly.
Why they're living on
the
nowhere?
Biggest one. The beginning of the movie, because I mean, I was watching it with Nick, and he just like, dude, I didn't get the beginning. I was like, what do you mean you didn't get the beginning? Like, I was like, I didn't know where they were. I didn't know this. I was like, you didn't watch the holiday special, did you? And he goes, nope. So
that'll do it.
If you want to understand like the first 15 to 20 minutes of the movie, definitely watch the holiday.
Oh yeah,
special.
And I said at the beginning of the episode, it was good. It was fun to watch. Like, go watch it. I really enjoyed it. But nowhere also surprised me too. There was one point where nowhere turns into a spaceship. Driving it around space.
It's got a spaceship. Like, I was like, I thought it was just a floating head.
I did too, but nope, they're flying it around space.
Got this huge cannon that comes out of its eye. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, which is probably Rocket that developed that or something. I bet
Rocket made it into a spaceship. Rocket developed that doomsday gun.
Yeah.
All right, man, let's talk about the ending.
Okay, let's do it.
What are your thoughts on the ending?
I think I'm going to use your bow tie analogy. I think they put the perfect bow tie on this trilogy. I think it was great. I think that Star-Lord's back on Earth, Gamora's back with the Ravagers, the new Guardians assemble, Nebula's doing whatever.
Nebula and Drax are pretty much taken care of.
Gone.
Where is it? Nowhere.
Yeah. And you get just a good wrap up. As for the overall ending with Quill going back to Earth, like I said earlier, I don't really know what they're going to do with that. They said he's going to return, so they're going to do something with it. I just don't know what, and I don't know if it's going to be good. Drax leaving, obviously emotional. Other than that, man, I just enjoyed the movie as a whole. I don't think there was a single part of the movie where I was not just intrigued and interested and happy to be there watching it, whether it was beginning, middle, or end. So, no really overall like big thoughts on the end of the movie because it didn't really do something big. It didn't like show a big bad or like do anything like that. Kang, I watched Ant-Man Quantumania this past week, and I'm gonna tell you right now, don't watch it. Don't. It's so bad. It is such a horrible film that I will never watch it again. I don't know why they even made it.
I haven't watched it yet.
I'm sorry, Colton. Watch it and let me know what you think, I guess.
Oh, God.
Anybody out there listening, I'm telling you not to watch it, but if you want to watch it, go watch it. Let me know what you think because I give it the big old -1 out of 10.
Oh, Lord.
It might have had like one moment where I was like, that was kind of funny. But other than that, I was so done with it after like the first 10 minutes. But I did watch the whole thing. I made it through the whole thing. Sarah said, "Why are we watching this?"
Oh gosh, great.
But yeah, like I don't even know where I was going at that point. I got off on a tangent on it. I don't know. Guardians, the end. Okay, I think they did a really good job. I was interested throughout the whole thing. Ant-Man, I was not. That's what I was going. That's where I was going with that. I think.
Okay.
What about you?
I see where you went. Okay, so I'm a little bit. Here's my issue with this movie. Although I love this movie, the ending I'm so confused by. What is this movie about?
Rocket.
Saving Rocket. Not about Rocket, but saving Rocket's life. Okay. Nebula, the Guardians of the Galaxy plus New Gamora. Okay. This whole movie is about them saving Rocket. And why are they saving Rocket? Because he's family. He is a part of them. Like, he is supposed to be like one of them. So they are acting like he is a real family member. Family. How funny would that be if Groot said that instead of
That'd been so good. I love you guys. I love my family.
I love you.
I live my life. When he goes, I live my life quarter mile at a time.
I might have left. I might have stood up and left.
It would have been so good though.
But yeah, it would have been great. There's got to be a blooper somewhere. Anywho, the movie is about getting Rocket, healing him, getting him fixed, and being back with them. And this movie ends with everybody splitting up and going their own way.
Deuces, Rocket.
Yeah. And that made no sense to me whatsoever.
I could see that.
And I was like, this is stupid. A stupid ending. Because I'm with you. I don't know what they're going to do with Quill. I don't know what we're going to get with him. I don't know what we're going to get out of him. I don't know how we're going to bring him back. I mean, the dude is on Earth now.
Yeah.
Like, it's confusing.
He's going to become an Avenger.
Maybe he'll be the leader of the Young Avengers.
He's a little old for that.
I would agree with that. I just that was my only issue with the ending is that they fought this whole movie to save Rocket because he is a family member, and they do it, and they're like, yeah, I think the only thing I learned is that I need to go do my own thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, come on. It just felt a little pointless.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But like I said, I went in with no expectations that I enjoyed this movie because of the plot.
You know what's crazy is, I did the same thing. That's our thing. Ever since the Skywalker said it, it's been like that. It's been go in, shatter your glass on the floor because you don't want it half empty or half full. And this one, I think, filled my glass back up. It put my glass back together and filled it back up, which was nice. But I'm going to drink as much as I can out of that glass so the next movie I go into, I can re-shatter it on the floor because this one's not getting my hopes up for future things. That's obvious. But it gave a little bit of light. Like it wasn't, Marvel did something right, which was odd. So.
Yeah, it did feel like they screwed up this movie because it was so good.
I know. Why did they do this right? That's it. No, that's what my thoughts were. This is the best movie since Endgame. That should be a negative thing, right? I mean, that's not a positive thing.
I mean, the bar was extremely, extremely low for it to be better than Endgame. You know what I mean?
They exceeded it by a million miles.
I agree.
Let's go over some actors, characters. Chris Pratt, Star-Lord. Zoe Saldana as Gamora. Will Poulter as Adam Warlock. Karen Gillan as Nebula. Sean Gunn as Kraglin. Vin Diesel voices Groot. Dave Bautista as Drax. Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon. And then we had a couple of cameos. A couple of them little hidden cameos. A couple of them obviously front and center. Pete Davidson was an alien somewhere. I have not seen pictures of it yet, so I need to go look that up and see where he was. Linda Cardellini voiced Lila, which I thought was awesome. If you don't know who that is, that's Hawkeye's wife. She was Velma in the live-action Scooby-Doo movies. And Nathan Fillion played one of the guards on the Butthole Planet, which I cannot think of what it's called. But yeah, so I mean, there's a couple really cool cameos in there. One of the others that I caught, and it's actually kind of crazy because this week on The Rookie, Nathan Fillion, his brother is played by Pete Davidson. So Pete Davidson pops up in the show, and it was really interesting. But his daughter from Castle is actually in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 too, which was cool. She was one of the redheaded Ravagers on the ship with the Ravagers. So definitely interesting cameos and a great cast. Hey, unmute your mic.
Oh man, I did it. I knew it. So Pete Davidson he is one of the guards of the High Evolutionary.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So that was neat. I didn't catch that either. So I'm definitely gonna have to go back and that'll be one of the things I'll be looking for.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah. Yeah, I thought the characters, obviously they've done just a fantastic job with them, and it's gonna be sad. I do like the new Guardians. One of my favorite things is the Zune.
Yeah.
And one of my biggest downfalls of this movie, and I hate to say biggest downfall, like it ruined the movie for me, was the music. And I remember, I think I was either talking to you, Gunnar, or talking to Nick about it. I was like, man, the music on that, I just didn't really recognize a whole lot of songs. They were all kind of sad, seemed kind of depressing. And then I was like, the movie is sad and depressing. I was like, man, because
Gotta be that way.
Yeah, it had to be that way. And I was just thinking about, man, that's what Gunn does such a good job with these movie scores. And, the music goes so well with how the movie is feeling and going. And it took me a while to really appreciate the soundtrack that's in this movie. But the Zune, Rocket is going through, he's like quizzing the new Guardians on like the music. And one of the girls, he goes, like, what's your favorite music from like the 90s or something like that? It's just, this girl goes, Britney Spears and Korn. And I was like, man, I've never felt so hurt in my entire life.
Britney Spears and Korn.
I was like, man, that's right. So oh yeah. Man, I'm excited though. I'm excited for the future of this. Man, is there anything else? I feel like there is.
I think we pretty much hit about everything. As I sneezed. I think we did. I think we hit about everything. And I think that, like you said, this movie was just fun.
So what do you give this out of 10, brother?
8.5. I'm gonna go 8.5.
Yep, that's what I gave.
I think it's a good number. I think it's a good number for a good movie. I don't know if I have any movies in my entire life that are completely 10 out of 10s. Maybe one movie I can think of.
Bill.
Party on, dudes. No, but yeah, if you haven't seen it, go see it. I would love to hear your feedback and just kind of what you thought of the movie. I mean, send us an email, thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. If you haven't watched the Christmas special, watch that and let us know what you thought of that too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, go see Guardians.
Definitely worth it.
Yeah. And don't watch Ant-Man. But if you want to see a cute movie, something fun, go watch Super Mario Brothers.
Have you seen it yet?
I watched it last night.
Oh, nice.
After you said we weren't going to watch it on Saturday, I was like, I'm going to watch it tonight because I really wanted to watch it. It was cute. It was fun. I think it was meant for you to take your kids to go see it. And I think that is a great reason to make a movie. Great Easter eggs. The story was fun.
Maybe we should just do an episode on it. Maybe we should do an episode on it.
Maybe we should. Jack Black, phenomenal job as Bowser.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
So go watch it. I think you and Brie will both enjoy it. I think it actually be a really good one for William too. So
yeah, we'll have to watch it and figure that out.
Yeah. But other than that, man, that's all I got.
I feel like I'm missing something, but I can't think about it right now.
I'm missing.
Oh, shout out to Rob Starwin. Happy birthday, bros.
Oh, Tony. Do we sing to him?
Happy birthday to
Wait, do
you?
Do they have a different birthday song across the pond?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Why not? You should
I
care.
don't know. That's a great question, Tony. Let us know at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com and let us know if there is a different happy birthday song across the pond.
Yeah. Let us know. All right. Well, Colton, let's get us out of here.
Let's do it.
We'd love to hear from everybody. So, as we said 100 times in this episode, send us an email at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. I just want to thank you all for listening. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, whatever other podcast sites there are that we're on. You can find us there. We also upload a video to YouTube every single Monday when we release on your favorite podcast site. So go check that out. Like, subscribe, click that bell, get those notifications every time we post because we would love to get those followers on there. Love to get more people accessing getting to our videos. And if you want to find us on any of your favorite social media sites, you can do that. Facebook.com/thecallguyspod, Instagram @thecallguys, and TikTok @thecallguyspodcast. Obviously, send us an email, thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. Give us recommendations for future episodes, questions of the pod, anything like that. If you want to tell us what your top 10s, top 5s, whatever. You want to tell us what you thought of Guardians, what you thought of Super Mario Bros., what you thought of Ant-Man Quantumania. We'd love to hear from you. Please reach out. That's all you can do. That's all you got to do. When you're done listening to us, go check out all the other podcasts under the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network of podcasts, whether that be the Golden Image Podcast, the United States of Paranormal Podcast, A Court of Books and Booze, the Indiana Chiefs fans, or soon to come, the Golden 80s Podcast. The Murdnerds are on a hiatus until the fall, so if you want to go listen to them, you can listen back to all of their previous episodes. They have plenty of them for you to listen to. True crime, gotta love it. And Alicia and Ashley should be back sometime in the fall, so look forward to them coming back with some fun new content. Other than that, all their information down below in the podcast notes, so go check it out. Colton, anything else?
Love you, brother.
Love you, brother. All right. Sounds good.
That's good.
Yeah. Everybody, thank you
This is
for
just a
listening.
tribute.
This is just a tribute. I am going to apologize one last time before we get out of here. Colton and I had a pact that we would never skip a week. No, we didn't actually have a pact doing that, but we did. We were proud of being consistent.
I feel like that's something that sets us apart.
Yeah.
And I feel like, it kind of hurt not to put out an episode.
It did. It did. It really did. I tried, man. I tried so hard to get it. I only had a couple days to do it, and I tried everything I could think of. So, but you know what?
You did try, brother. I do appreciate you trying as hard as you did.
You heard my frustrations.
Oh, yes, I did.
You got them all. So I want to thank everybody for being patient with us. Sorry that my computer decided to die on me, and it's just gonna make things better. Expect a new, better intro. Expect a new, better outro. Expect some odds and ends things. Like I think this happening is only going to make some positive changes in the future. So,
That's right.
Everybody, thank you for listening to the Call Guys podcast. See you next time.
Later.
Later.
'Cause I'm a creep. Oh, what the hell am I doing
I have to go back and watch my face on that one.
Oh my gosh.